In this global village in which we live, information communication technology is developing rapidly, and the amount of information is increasing. Facts, disinformation, objectivity, guidance, all the topics of contemporary journalism have pushed journalists to the forefront. I wanted to major in journalism when I was young. I want to be the person who carries the camera into the first scene. I want to be the reporter in front of the camera. I want to be the host of the news broadcast, or I want to be the writer behind the new media account. But journalism is more than that. Journalism is a major with strong practicality and application. Even in the contemporary society, news reports should not blindly follow the trend. If you want to major in journalism, you need to decide to go deep. Should we study journalism when fake news is rampant and everyone has the power to speak? This is the information era of post-truth, fake news. It's also an era where social media gives everyone a voice. What is the boundary between news media and individual we media? Meanwhile, what is the job of the news media? Is it to find the truth of the matter, or to meet the audience's consumption demand for information to fabricate and distort the truth? In psychology, there's a concept called confirmation bias, which is the tendency when a person confirms a belief or idea to look for evidence that supports it in the process of collecting and analyzing information. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. So, in order to get the so-called click rate, should the news media blindly satisfy the public's appetite for entertainment, or should they act as a watchdog to supervise the society? At the beginning of the first episode of the first season of the hit HBO series, Newsroom, a sophomore asked, "Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?"
My name is Jenny, I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what... you know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
It's not the greatest country in the world. That's my answer. Answered Will McAvoy, the anchor of the show. He went on to say some facts.
The NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them.
It turns out that no matter how journalism technology develops, the role that journalism needs to play in presenting facts, revealing truth, and serving the society is also the content that all journalism students need to learn deeply. From Newsroom. In the era of we media, where everyone has the right to speak, why should, in the era of we media, where everyone has the right to speak, why should we study journalism? Although paper media gradually faded out and TV media had little influence, the professionalism and preciseness of traditional media was an important factor distinguishing we media from traditional media. The word tradition, on the one hand, expresses a kind of past tense, on the other hand, also represents a kind of authority and self-evident power. Learning journalism teaches us how to strictly distinguish between opinio and facts. Examples: the real presentation of data in the United States. Learning the news, we are keenly aware of unfounded opinions, more alert to fabricated facts. This is not a journalistic sensibility peculiar to the media, but a tradition that has persisted since the beginning of the news. The New York Times, with more than 150 years of history, is still thriving after its digital transformation and is the most influential newspaper in the US. How to do news in the context of integrated media. Media convergence refers to the strategic, operational, and cultural convergence between different media organizations, including print media, audio media, video media, and interactive digital media. The proliferation of the internet and smartphones has brought significant changes to the media landscape since the turn of the 21st century. This has created a shift in the consumption of print media channels as people increasingly consume news through e-readers, smartphones, and other personal electronic devices, as opposed to the more traditional formats of newspapers, magazines, or television news channels. News organizations are challenged to fully monetize their digital wing as well as improvise on the context in which they publish in print. Newspapers have seen print revenues sink at a faster pace than the rate of growth for digital revenues. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. While we emphasize the professionalism and authority of traditional on the one hand, we are also looking at the digital transformation of media on the other. In the process of media vigorously developing apps for mobile users, expanding the influence of social media, and completing the transformation of digital first, the talent market of media is also constantly shifting to the demand for all-round comprehensive journalists. Journalism schools around the world aim to train journalists from divisional labor to versatile gathering, editing, and broadcasting together.